Hey y'all, welcome to Did She Just Say That? This is episode 7. I
And I'm like,
had to think about it. We
yeah,
are halfway through the month of March, almost 2 months down.
yep.
So, what are we talking about?
Today we are talking about growth that feels uncomfortable. So, previous versions of yourself, um, celebrating and becoming uncomfortable with growth,
Mm,
navigating that, and some practical things to think through to process growth.
I love that. Celebrating and uncomfortable things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love it.
Yay.
That's a great combination. I love that. Well, if you haven't, make sure that you are following us on all the different social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and you can stream on most of your podcast streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify,
Mhm.
and YouTube. If you want to watch, you can go over to YouTube and follow us and comment, and actually, we can interact with you over there. So, make sure you check all of that out. And if I didn't say, I'm Chesson.
I'm Ashley.
Let's do
All
this. You
right. All
ready?
right. Let's do it.
All right.
So, growth. When you hear that word, um, in our topics, what we've been talking about, what words or phrases or anything that comes to mind?
Stretch.
Okay.
That comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that can be very literal as far as like you're
Mm-hmm.
stretching to grow, but um, you have to stretch your mind. You have to stretch what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
that you're making those changes. So I think stretch is one of them. Growth, I think, means dying to old things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and we're about to go into a season of blooming,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it's a great just mind thought process to be like, I'm gonna let that go, and you have to grieve it, obviously. I don't know. Those are the top ones I think
Those
that
are
come to mind immediately.
those are great.
How
Yeah.
about you?
Um, journey. I just feel like growth is a journey,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's
Mm.
I don't know, like it can happens at different points in life, and but no, I think um you had, I mean, the stretching piece of it, like literal and mind
Yeah.
stretch. Um,
I don't think we should ever stop growing either. It's
no,
like people are always like, I've learned enough, and I'm like, I want to learn something new every day.
yes,
I want to grow.
and I think, we've talked about this before. Like when I'm when I'm dating, that's something I look for in a
Mm.
person, is someone that's also
Goals.
goals. They're not stagnant. Because if I'm growing, like I'm gonna need a partner that's gonna grow with me too,
Absolutely.
and I'm gonna grow with them too.
So you don't outgrow each other.
Yeah, absolutely,
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
we've got a few questions today and kind of
All
building those
right.
in just to get some personal experiences. But why does becoming sometimes feel like loss?
Well, it absolutely
Mm-hmm.
can be. You, I think I kind of said that, like you have to grieve who you were or what you've overcome, or maybe what you believed that is not true. You have to process that. Um, I don't think that there's a way not to.
Yeah,
If you're truly growing, if you're wanting to go deeper, if you're wanting to make those changes.
yeah, absolutely. We use the word grief quite a bit, and you would have asked me, 10 years ago, grief. I'm like, when I think grief, it's someone that you love is passing away.
Right.
But there's different griefs, and
Absolutely.
you can grieve a former version of yourself, even though you're
Yeah.
working through it. And maybe you're happy that you've
Mhm.
outgrown, but there maybe are some bits and pieces
Well,
that you grieve.
even in with death, like I know with grandparents that have gotten
Hmm.
very elderly, and they're not getting to live their best life anymore. And you always hear people say, "I'm so sad, but I'm also happy because that they were ready."
Right.
And so grief doesn't always have to be just sadness. It can be a like, "Ooh, okay, I grew out of that." And
Absolutely.
it can be a happy,
Mhm.
happy
Yeah,
grief.
um that reminds me of like dad, like talking to him before he passed. He was like, I'm over here like I'm going through it. I don't lose my dad, and he's over here like, "Baby girl, why are you crying? Like I'm okay."
Mhm.
And he was ready to go. Like he was
Yeah.
like, I know where I'm going, and so there's some peace, I'm sure, in that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, grief, and even though like grieving versions of yourself, you can still many years later grieve,
Absolutely.
things from the past. So it's not just like a here's your time frame. You're gonna grieve in this time frame, and then it stops
Yeah,
grieving.
you can't put time frames
Yeah,
on grief.
yeah. So
And sometimes you may have overcome parts of your past, but not all of it, and it may resurface. And it's like,
mhm,
okay, I have to revisit this again. You don't have to go backwards and
yeah.
heal from what you've already
Oh,
healed
sorry.
from. We love playing
I know
footsies.
happens all the time.
um, you don't have to go back and be like, oh, I have to, feel
Hmm.
all of those feelings that I've already healed from, but it may be deeper or it
Yeah.
may be another part of it.
Hmm.
And I think that's healthy.
Yeah. Most definitely. Um, have a little saying here. We spend energy and strive to be accepted for who we are. Then growth happens. And you ask, will you be accepted for the new version of yourself?
Ooh.
So, yeah, day to day striving to be loved and seen and heard, and then change happens, and then now you're trying to find acceptance again. Um,
And it depends on the change
hmm.
because some change may take you to a place where you've outgrown the people.
Absolutely. Hmm.
And if you haven't outgrown them, then they should be cheering for you.
Yes. Yeah. If you have someone in your life today, that's not cheering you on, um, it may not be you. It may be them still stuck in where they are, and they're not ready to move like you are, and so that can change relationships. And so, yeah, most definitely.
Have you had things that you have done in your life that your closest people haven't come around you and cheered for you?
I mean, we both know that my man picker's not fantastic, and so I don't.
I mean, have you?
Well, I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind, and it's not a dig on former
Right.
boyfriends or husband or anything like that. Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, but they're looking for my best interest, and so when I tend to try to verbally validate our relationship, and they see that it's probably not progressing and it's not where it should
Mhm.
be. I mean, yeah, that's a hard. It's not always accepted. No, they'll accept my final decision, but they're always like, take care of yourself.
Yeah. No, I get
So
that. I think I
that probably wasn't the
meant
where you were going, was it?
it's not, but it's
Okay.
okay. Um,
Yeah. It's the first thing that came to my mind.
maybe I didn't word it right. So, have you ever stepped outside of maybe your comfort zone, or you've gotten a new position, or something that you're just so excited about, so happy about,
Hmm.
and the people that are in your circle, sitting at your table,
Hmm.
just aren't present?
No, no, because those people are no longer in my life. Is that where you're Is that where you're headed? Yeah, yeah. So
Just wondered if that was, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Can we erase the guy, the guy picker? We're not editing anything,
We don't
which is
edit.
unfortunate. So anyway, yeah. There's that.
Yep.
Another question. What previous version of you do you think about?
Hmm. That's probably young mom,
Okay.
as far as my kids were young.
Okay.
3 toddlers and a 7-year-old. Um, that was a season where there were parts of me that was still had a little. It was the beginning of kind of losing my identity of the things that I enjoyed.
Hmm.
My tight skin, no wrinkles, no grays.
I don't see any of those things, but okay.
um, but it was as that transition of where more of my personal identity
Mm-hmm.
was going, and I was just inundated. I'll never forget one time I think it was, I don't know, like little guy selling stuff at like AT&T or whatever, knocked on the door, and I had on a pair of, it was not Christmas time, I had on a pair of Christmas pajama pants,
Mm-hmm.
a pink sweatshirt, a yellow, like yellow robe,
Mm-hmm.
and these, I don't even know, I'm gonna call them duck shoes, but they were like these house shoes, but you could wear them outside. They were like the Crocs.
Yeah.
They had like fur coming up, and I opened that door because he would not stop ringing the doorbell, and I had a baby napping, and I was like, I have to go to the door,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked down, and I was like, this is the best I got right now,
Yep.
and I took a picture, and I was like, this is
Mm-hmm.
my life right now, and that was the best that I had.
Mm-hmm.
But I started losing me. Not in a bad way. It was
Mm-hmm.
transitioning into that mother, the more like I'm juggling 4 kids. Um, but I definitely go back there and was like, how could I do that different? How could I have done that different to where I still held on to a little bit of my identity? Because as the kids started to get older, and it was me trying to find that again.
Yeah.
And there's still days where I'm like, well, hold on, I need
Mm-hmm.
to check I need to check me again, because when I'm thriving, my house is thriving.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not. I mean, you can call it selfish if you want, but it is making a happy home.
Yeah.
And when I'm down, the house feels it. So yeah, there was just that season where I look back and I'm like, there were still some really, really good things. There were some things that were being lost. I mean, I just didn't tell anyone, took off one
Mm-hmm.
day, went to the salon. My hair was probably about here, if not longer. I mean, I chopped it. It
Chopped
looked
it.
like Elvis.
Mm.
It was gone. I was like, what can I?
Were you all shook up?
I was all shook up. Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
It was not
Yeah.
my best, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Um, gosh, previous version. I think of myself younger and how I just strive to impress and get all the awards and all the performance and all the things.
Mhm.
And um, from early on, that's how I guess I try to get attention. Was from um, the volleyball awards, the academics, just trying to be seen.
Yeah.
And after a while, like that was my life for a while. I performed so I can get a scholarship for later and, playing then, and on the collegiate level, like then wanting to play, then you're working your butt off to play. So,
Yeah.
but now my volleyball world is for fun and for friendship. And so it's definitely changed. I don't have to have that. I'm not striving to win an award anymore. I'm not striving to, get playing time. But now I guess I put that effort now into like performance at work or performance with friendships. And so maybe it's more of just switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was a lot more anxious. I
Mm.
found myself anxious
You want me
younger.
to get you a friendship award?
Yes,
Okay.
I need a little trophy
Okay.
because I'm a millennial and we
Participation.
love trophies. Yeah, participation. Do you like trophies?
No, I'm
See,
good.
that's what I'm saying. Sure. Are you millennial?
I mean,
You're borderline
I
ex
think
millennial.
so.
Yeah. I tend to
I would
operate
identify.
with X because my parents are older and that kind of thing. But my parents are older. They're boomers.
We're gonna just keep going.
My
Just
brother's a
keep going.
Gen Xer. That's why I like Bush Radio, girl. Like
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, I would love a friendship
Okay.
award.
Okay. So no medals. It needs to be an award.
I'll take metals
But it has
as
to be
well.
gold.
It's just I prefer gold. Silver and bronze are kind of like if you're not first, you're last.
Uh, uh, it's a participation
Well,
award.
it's
If
going
you're
to
not
it needs to
first,
be.
your participation. You're
I'm a first participator.
Bless
Oh,
it.
I know. I know. Discomfort doesn't mean you're failing. It often means you're shedding.
Say it again.
Discomfort doesn't mean you're failing.
Failing. Okay. I thought you said filling. I was like,
Fail.
filling up.
Fa-
Yeah.
fail.
Gotcha.
Failing.
Okay.
It's my accent.
Mm-hmm.
It often means you're shedding.
Mm.
So, what is that? How do you interpret that?
Well, when there's discomfort, a lot of times it's like, what am I doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
It's your first thought, right?
Yeah, question.
And so that's where your mind wants to go, but really it's discomfort because you're making change
Right.
and you're shedding what you no longer need to hold, that you no longer need to protect or let it take over your mind or your thoughts or your identity, saying who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But discomfort is definitely not always. You got to get comfortable with being discomfortable.
Ooh. I like that though, discomfortable. Because I feel like someone else has probably already quoted, you have to be comfortable with uncomfortable. But I like yours because it makes it a little different.
Yeah.
You need to be comfortable with the discomfortable.
Yeah. We'll go with it.
We're going to copyright that.
Don't be using it.
Don't use that. Do you think discomfort can sometimes rattle your nervous system?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do you identify that? Like, how do you call it out? Do you.
Well, I lived most of my life
Mm-hmm.
in a fight or flight state where my nervous system was always rattled, unbeknownst to myself, which
Right.
is very eye opening. We'll go with that. And so when I finally figured out what was going on, I was like, oh, okay. And learning how to regulate that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not that you want to rattle your nervous system. That's not it. But whenever you're doing hard things, new things, making change, it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just pause.
Yeah. Power
And
up the pause.
yeah,
Mm.
get your nervous system back together. Whatever that looks like for you, it's different for everybody. And you need to learn how to regulate your nervous system for sure. But get that back together before you try to keep going. But know that change isn't easy. And the more you do it, just anything that's in repetition, the more you do it, the easier it does get. And it won't always rattle your nervous system.
Right.
To the extent of your first time doing it or the big things that may rattle it.
When my nervous system is like functioning and at a good spot, I make better decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Making a decision, an emotional decision, or a decision when you're out of sorts, typically does not always end well or play out well.
This could go really deep, but we'll try to surface it. I make my strongest and sometimes best decisions in hard situations because that's where I stayed for so long. And it became my quote normal. And so I could function.
Yep.
But now when it's clear, it's like sometimes it's like, can we rattle this a little bit? I got a big decision to make.
It's too easy.
But it's more peaceful now, and
Yeah.
it's more grounded and maybe more thought through. But yeah, hard decisions can easily be made in the heat of a moment, which shows, brings out a lot.
Yeah. So, practical ways to navigate uncomfortable growth. Questions to ask yourself: what am I afraid to release, or who am I afraid to release? Who am I becoming that scares me?
Mm,
So, at times, I do think that we get so comfortable.
mm,
The uncertainty
mhm.
is hard to navigate. And asking the question, what am I afraid of losing to become and to move forward, is a great question, because a lot of times there's something that's holding you back.
Yeah.
So, but I think thinking about what will become, what you are becoming, getting to that side of it,
Yeah.
it's either easier to go, well, why didn't I do that sooner? Why didn't I do that earlier? Or,
And I think you have to prepare yourself.
hmm
Just like if you're cleaning stuff out,
yeah,
like we're becoming. So we're talking about this as this whole month. It's becoming and getting out the old and all of that. When you go to clean out something, you have to prepare. Like, what do I need? Do I need trash bags? Do I need totes? Do I need
a
a
maybe
broom?
pal.
Yeah, a maybe pal. Yes, pal. Goodwill pal. Like there's so
Yeah.
many. You have to prepare.
hmm
So how are we preparing to do these things? Like it takes. It's not just like, oh, okay, I want. This is what I want to do. I'm
Fly
gonna
by the
do
seat of your
it.
pants. I'm gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes work,
Yes. Intentional work.
and you need to work on yourself.
hmm
You need to prioritize yourself.
Absolutely, because it affects people around you.
Yes,
What does it cost you to stay in the old version of you?
it can cost you everything.
hmm It can. Absolutely. And boundaries, how important those are. Not everyone's going to benefit from them, but they are necessary.
Yeah.
When you are transitioning or becoming or what have you, it is very much important to protect it.
If you
You
set
worked
a
hard to get to it.
Absolute, and if you set a boundary and someone can't respect it,
hmm
then you've outgrown them.
Yeah.
I mean, and even if it takes time, you know, and that's okay. But say, hey, you know, I appreciate you respecting this boundary. Let's try this.
Yeah.
And if they're like, okay, cool, and you see them trying, or it's like, oh yeah, I'll do that, but then they're constantly going to the other thing. They're not respecting your boundary. They're telling you what you want to hear to trying to get what they want to get.
100%. Practice journaling,
Mm.
pausing, move your body when needed, releasing stress and tension, self care.
Moving your body is so much more
Mm.
important than a lot of us as women. It's like you're exhausted.
Yep.
You're up early, you're making sure everybody's taken care of, you're getting them out the door, you're getting yourself out the door, you're going to work, you're coming home, you're doing the homework, you're doing the sports, all the things, whatever it looks like. And it's like, well, I've been moving all day long, but it wasn't for you.
Right.
It was for everyone
Yeah.
else.
Stretch those muscles.
Yeah.
Um, find ways to find that me time for
Hmm.
yourself to reevaluate. And yeah.
Talk to someone.
hmm
If you have someone that's close to you, I mean, we talked about this. You have to, of course, you have to trust them,
Right.
but let someone hold you accountable. And I'll tell you, it's not always easy. You may lose a friend over trying to hold them accountable. But if they've asked you to do it and you've agreed to do it, then you have to, even family sometimes.
Record them and replay it and be like, hold on, you told me. You said it. Hold you accountable. But yeah, that moment can be awkward, and it can be. I think it's important to also tell people that you love and trust. I'm going through a transition to
Yeah.
become a better version of myself.
Mhm.
Ask them what they think. What are some things that you can do to help?
Make sure that it's people that you know are speaking
Yes.
love into you and that they want your best interest. It is not to benefit them.
Right.
Make sure they're coming from a pure
hmm
heart and a pure place for your best intentions.
And trust your instincts.
Oh,
You know,
that
I'm.
gut.
I know, and one of those things. I hear it all the time, and it's one of those phrases I feel like that's used a ton. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Right.
I don't know
And
that it's always right.
agreed. I think some people. Well, if you're not in a good spot and your gut's saying one thing, you
Mm,
could not. Maybe you're not in a healthy place to make that
mm.
decision. I will say I usually gut is right, for the most part, and
Do we call it gut or Holy Spirit?
I mean Holy Spirit for believers,
Yeah.
those that don't
The Holy Spirit is always right.
register.
Let me make sure
Yes,
but
yes, absolutely. But also, like, that's if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. If it's not,
or it's bringing out something in you that
hmm
you need to work through.
yeah,
And their security makes your insecurity a little wobbly.
yeah, yeah. So, what does it feel like physically and emotionally? We talk about, I just, we've talked about the words that might give you a little bit of like it looks like you're giving up something or you are releasing or leaving something in the past, but then there's the leveling up
Yeah.
and becoming that version and leveling up. So what does that look like physically and emotionally when you're leveling up? What does that sound like to you?
Oh, power. Um,
Mario going boop 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 boop
yeah.
boop.
A little mushroom.
Yeah, he's leveling
Yes.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one where like you get excited. I mean, it's not
Mhm.
like we're doing hard things. It's like you level up, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Like chest bump.
yeah.
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 Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that goes along with we talked about like switching gears in your mindset.
Hmm.
And if you focus on leveling up and not so much on leaving something behind, that's just it's a way to rewire your brain on
Hmm.
how you're becoming.
Yeah.
And leveling up can be whatever it wants to be for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether you
Let
want
it be
to,
a celebration
yeah,
more.
absolutely. So, yeah, I've really, this topic's been great. We've worked through the relationship piece in February. Now we're talking about, decluttering, becoming, and spring's kicking off. We had a false spring day
We
the other
did.
day.
It's so beautiful.
It was
Oh,
gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And so maybe this is a time, I mean, I'm hoping, I'm sure listeners are probably going, oh, um, these girls are funny, but oh, that's a great idea or great point. You know what I mean?
right.
And so hopefully this helps kind of prepare you for a season. Maybe you're going through a season, or maybe you haven't been thinking about it, and now you're going, yeah, I need to face something today
Mm.
or work through it. When we talk about community, we truly want people to like. You don't have to have it together to come
No.
to the group.
Please don't have it two
Yeah,
together.
yeah. Because then we're gonna be leaning on you. Um,
Not just that. You
no,
might not want to hang out with us.
maybe not. But at the same time, if you want to be held accountable, find someone to
Just someone
walk
to
with
listen.
you. Yeah, walk with you.
Yeah.
Life is not easy, and I always say this: we are not to do like live this life alone. I think that you need people.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, we're here to support however we can.
Life be life.
Life be life in. Yeah. So don't forget that you always have a seat
Seat
at
at
our
our
table.
table.
All right. We'll be at more week of March, but we did it.
Oh,
And we didn't burn anything down. Look at that.
of course we
I
didn't.
don't know.